Okay, it is the first day of school. I got the baby off to Grandma's house. I drove over to the school. I am so nervous. It's been a full year and a bit since I've been in work. And I'm not worried for the baby. I'm just nervous for me. New school again, new building, new staff. It's the 5th year in a row where I've been in a new building with a completely new staff. But I think it's gonna be fun. So, let's go. Watch out, Mac. Bye, Bubba. Finally. I've recorded this 3 times and it has been so blurry. I don't know why. Anyway, so this is the 2nd day of school. This is Wednesday, because the baby has swim class with Grandma. So I recorded yesterday, but to be fully honest, I was having a giant panic attack the entire day because I thought I was teaching a 12-1-4 medically fragile, which means I would have 12 students, 4 staff members, and myself. And I had this whole idea visualized, and I was ready, and I had been working towards it. And then I show up to school, and it is not that. It is not that. I am teaching a cluster position, which is exciting because I don't have a classroom. And anyone who has a classroom tells you that it's so much work to just maintain the classroom. So I can really focus on what I'm teaching and the lessons and the children. So I am teaching math this year, which is a new challenge, and I'm really excited about it. And we're gonna start driving, so I'm going to hang up on you. Bye. It is grotesquely hot. This is the end of day 2. The baby was all out of sorts at daycare, and I feel so bad for her. Whoops. But my mom picked her up half day because she had swim class today. Oh, get some better light, Pam. I am driving home now. I will not be filming in the school during school hours. I might show you guys my office, but it's not going to be done for a really long time because the speech department that was in my office has to move to what would be the wood shop, but the wood shop teacher is now an assistant principal, and they have to remove the machines that were in the wood shop. So you can't just take the machines out. They're big machines. Oh, hold on. They're huge machines, and you're not supposed to touch them, especially if you have no clue what they do. So, I'm heading home now. And I have this inner office. It's really nice. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna turn out great. I spent the majority of the day just sorting through math manipulatives, sorting through the curriculum, trying to gauge where the students are academically, because if they're nonverbal, I'm gonna need, equipment for that. If they're verbal but they can't read, I'm gonna need more equipment for that. It's gonna be an interesting year. It turns out my kids, for the most part, are extremely high mathematically, academically. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be actually teaching math, which is not what I normally do. That being said, it's not algebra. I'm not teaching geometry, really. It's functional mathematics, which I can get behind, especially because my site is focused on work study and that next step for our students. There's a huge push in New York to be ready for college, and while I agree college is an amazing thing and everyone should be able to do it, I don't think it's the path for everyone. You don't need college. College is great, it is a wonderful experience, but if your passion, if your drive is to be a plumber, then be a plumber. Be an HVAC man, be a refrigerator repairman, be a custodial engineer, and why wait? Why go to college and then do it? Okay, I gotta drive. Okay, I finally parked. I can actually shoot this video and wrap it up. So, it was a good day all in all. I got my ID card. I organized everything needed organizing. I have kind of an area in the office. I've definitely kidnapped it. I feel terrible, but also I need to do work and it will eventually be my office, so I've started like putting things away, stacking things on cabinets, and we'll figure it out. And the speech teachers have started packing. They really are nice people. They're really trying to accommodate me. They just don't have anywhere to go. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it was a good day. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Bye.
We're also brought to you by Look Linen. The best sheets, the most comfortable sheets. Now, honestly, when we first got these, you're lucky. I'm aiming for so you should be really comfy. An effective multivitamin that you can trust. And
Here you go, boo.
Cashmere, realize this.
Okay. Go on.
That we have a podcast about the UK and England on a different feed on, what is that under? It's under Dollop UK in England.
Yeah, Dollop, The Dollop, England, and the UK.
Okay, so if you look at it, you'll find that, and there's a few episodes about that.
Let's hold hands while we talk about fecal stuff. Yeah, so...
Hi, good morning. Today is the first day of school with kids. And my husband had a 5-hour driving test thingy. The 5-hour course where you watch videos and sit on your butt apparently was very exhausting. So he was out late and now he's a grump. But he's taking the baby to daycare even though she had the worst morning. We woke up at 4. She's completely out of sorts. She's getting used to daycare, but it's really hard on me because I'm the one up at night. I'm the one getting her back to sleep. And then I'm with her most of the morning because my husband is not a morning person in any way, shape, or form. So it's me with her all morning, getting breakfast, packing up, making sure we have everything. Ooh. And my school has the worst parking around it. It has double alternate side of the street parking days, which is a friggin' nightmare. So it's impossible to park. The last couple of days we were able to park behind the school where the buses go, and it was easier. Now you can't do that anymore because there's buses, because there's children, and I'm having a panic attack about parking, which is silly, but it's also a real possibility because parking is horrible and school starts promptly at 8. If I'm not there, I forgot my ID. Okay, take 2, back in the car. I'm just gonna drive, focus on driving. Okay, so surprisingly I found parking, so I'm pretty ecstatic about that. And because I ran in, I got earrings and a necklace, so I look presentable for the first day. The baby was all out of sorts yesterday with just a half day of daycare and then the rest of the day with grandma. So I feel bad, but she was up all night and this morning she was just miserable and she didn't want to be with me. She wanted to be with Dad. But my husband is not a morning person, as I said before, and he slept in as late as humanly possible. Like, it really drove me insane. And came down and I'm like, I gotta go. Like, you gotta get the carrier on and I gotta get out of here. So I got them in the carrier and then he went upstairs and it threw me off completely. The baby doesn't have everything she needs for daycare. I don't have everything. I forgot her blanket that helps her sleep. I'm just out of sorts. It's not the best way to start a day, but I'm gonna try and reset, take a few deep breaths and head over into work. Bye. Hey guys, it's the end of the day. The baby had a great time in daycare. She actually napped even though I completely forgot to pack her nighttime blanket, and I keep getting great pictures from her daycare. It makes me feel so much better. I only checked them on my lunch, and today was hard. Today was hard because the first days are always hard with kids because I didn't have, half the technology's not working, the smart board's not working. I'm still trying to organize all the manipulatives, really. I'm trying to gauge what they know, what they don't know, without like fully pulling out a test and being like, oh yeah, guess what guys, we're gonna have a test. First day in school, here's some tests. Which is a bummer. But like, every single class has really, really high students, really, really low students, and like a kid in the middle, and I feel so bad. I have one kid asking me to teach him square roots. I have one kid who won't talk or identify numbers. And it's silly that we have these classes like this, but I'm gonna work around it. The curriculum does work with it, so I should be okay. But first day with kids, end of day 3 for work. I'm gonna run inside and start dinner. Tacos. Bye guys! Where did I park? Huh. Here we go. So, last night was a bit of a blur because after dinner, which I think you saw me making tacos, they were delicious, by the way. I'm doing the Jordan Page Shelftober challenge, where you basically cook from your pantry and you get rid of all the excess. So, I mean, I have like 400 cans of tomato sauce because we use it constantly. And so we had tacos last night. Tonight we're doing like a tomato sauce in the crock pot. And I have 1,000,000 pounds of meat in the freezer because I buy in bulk and for cheaper reasons. And we do butcher box because it's grass-fed ground beef and pork and chicken. And we do Wild Alaskan Salmon Company, so we have an insane amount of meat in the freezer, and we're just cooking off that and not shopping, not buying more, just cooking what we already have and using it up, which is good. I like it. It's very fun and it makes me very creative. So if you haven't checked out Jordan Page, she's funcheaperfree.com, and she has a YouTube channel. She's amazing. She's having twins, and she's on her 7th and 8th child. She's pregnant with her 7th and 8th child. She's a Wonder Woman, and I love her. I'm obsessed with her on Instagram. She's also on Instagram. So after tacos, I got the baby washed and dressed for bed, and we did a little playing, and then she went to bed, and as I was putting her to sleep, I fell asleep. I fell asleep and woke up an hour later just to clean up the kitchen, and then I was like, I'm going back to bed. And I went back to bed, and she slept straight until like 3 o'clock in the morning. She's amazing. She did really great. She's still getting molars, so the fact that she wakes up at all is all molars. I feel so bad because it hurts so bad. I know, I was getting my wisdom teeth in just a few years ago, and it's painful. It's really painful, so I can understand waking up. And then she slept straight through to 5 a.m. and it was amazing. I actually woke up before she did because I knew it was 5 a.m. You know when you wake up at 5 a.m. like consistently for like a month, and then your body's like, oh, it's 5 a.m. Don't you want to wake up? And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. The other thing is, if you have a baby who's getting their teeth in, their molars, I know this is crazy and I am not an expert, so please, go by your doctor. But my mom was like, when you were a baby, you would only sleep sitting straight up when you're getting your molars. And I was like, that's weird. And then I was noticing Lily in her sleep, especially when, she fell asleep on our bed and then I moved her to the crib, she would try and find pillows to like sleep on. So I put a pillow in her crib, just one of my pillows. And so she's like on an incline and she's been sleeping so much better, like 110% better. There was one night where we literally got 2 hours of sleep and not consecutive. I was going to die. Sleep deprivation is truly torture, and I understand why they use it, because I would have sold all state secrets. Yep, so here's Friday. It's our last day of school for the week. It's the second day with kids, and I'm really gonna play math games, just gauge where they are. We're gonna start running assessments really soon, but right now I'm just meeting the kids, getting to know them, getting to know who talks, who doesn't talk, who needs a speech device, who has behavior problems. And surprisingly, we already have some kids who are sick, so that's fun. That's what you always want, a straight off the bat sick kid. I'm still meeting staff members, I'm still trying to remember names, and I'm still sharing an office, so soon I will have my own office. But you know what, it's nice to be back at work. It's nice to have time for myself for the most part. I mean, I'm never alone, let's be honest. It's nice to get back to using my brain in a different way. It's nice to eat lunch without being attacked or having someone trying to eat half my food. But I do miss Lily. I really wish I could bring her with me to work. I can see how that wouldn't be helpful, but I could also see how it'd be nice. Oh my God, and this morning was crazy. I have to tell you about this. So this morning, Grandpa, we live with my husband's grandfather, who I call Grandpa. I have adopted him. I tell him all the time how much I love him. I love living with him. I've lived with him for like 7 years now. Before my husband and I got married, before we had our daughter, my father passed and Grandpa said, you have to move in with us. My husband was already living with him and his grandmother had passed. And he's like, no, you're moving in. And I was like, all right. So I moved in. We've since been married. We've since had a daughter, and he is obsessed with Lily. He loves her so much, and it brings me nothing but joy to see them together. They are the sweetest little couple. And he loves watching her and playing with her and sitting with her at the dining table. I love a multi-generational household. It's literally what I've dreamed of since I was a little girl. So this morning, and he has a little dog. We call it our dog. His name is John McClane. We call him Mackie. He is a Scottish Terrier, also known as a die-hard dog, hence the name John McClane. He is a feisty little guy. We thought he mellowed out because a couple years ago he was attacked by pit bulls, right? Like 5 pit bulls. He and Grandpa were both attacked by pit bulls. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. He was in the hospital. Grandpa had to go to the hospital. It was like a 2-day event, and Mackie had to be shaved all the way down. He almost, died. I'm so glad he's alive because Grandpa really, potholes are insane. Grandpa really lives for him. He's the reason he gets up to walk him every morning. Until Lily was born, he really was the reason that Grandpa lived. So this morning, as usual, he takes Mackie out. He takes him out about 5:30, wanders around the neighborhood. Great. They have a whole routine, they know what they do, and Mackie doesn't like other dogs. Well, my neighborhood happens to be a pretty dog-friendly neighborhood, and there's dogs everywhere. So typically Grandpa is very aware, and he's, very cautious of other dogs and Mackie usually is just trying to protect Grandpa. So, but today, a dog came across and he pulled and Grandpa fell and he scraped up both knees and his hands and he came back all bloody. Thankfully, it was literally down the block. He's okay, but he was pissed. And he came in and I got him Band-Aids Band-Aids, and there was just blood everywhere. I feel so bad when he falls, but he's okay. Everyone's okay. Even the dog's okay. But Mackie wouldn't come back to him, and it was an ordeal. Thankfully, a nice man found him and picked him up and got the dog for him. Got his hat up. It was, it turned out okay. But I'm going to check in on him this evening, see if he needs any more Neosporin or tiny Band-Aids. He scraped up every finger. It was impressive. It wasn't even like I don't even know how you could scrape up every single finger on your hand, but he did, so. And that was happening while I was getting the baby ready to go with my mom, because this is mom day and not daycare day. And then my mom showed up late, and now I'm trying to get to school, because as you know, there is no parking by the school. I know it's all going to work out, but it's been a really hectic morning already. So I'm going to contact you I'm going to talk to you guys again once I finally park. Okay. I think I found a tiny parking secret, so I think I might actually have parking every day. So, but I don't want to jinx myself, so cross your fingers. Let's hope it happens. Okay, so this is my first full week of school. I'll put up whatever I can tonight, and then I should post it on YouTube Saturday morning. But let me know what you want to see, okay? I'm going to put up a bunch of videos soon, and we're going to figure this out. Okay. There's a hair in the camera. Okay. Okay, that's the wrap on the first week of school. This was a long day. I had to write my first letter home because one of my students was acting inappropriately, and it became one of those situations like, I really don't want to write this letter home. It was the last period of the day. He was just getting wily because it was the end, and I know that, but first week of school, I laid out the rules, and you have to follow through. It was one of those just have to follow through situations. Like if I let this one go, it was going to be a full year of knockdown, drag out fights with this kid. So I wrote the letter, and then I said, hey, it's early in the period. I'm going to give you till the end of the period, and I'm going to leave this letter open so that when you act appropriately for the rest of the period, I can add to it and just say, hey, you turned it around. You did great. He had problems in the beginning. That's the rule. I got to write a letter home, but he really did turn it around. And he did. I was really impressed. As you can tell, it's pouring out, and my battery's going to die, so I better get home to the baby. See you soon.